Crevonte, are you ready to throw it left-handed? Because we're breaking down Michael Penix Jr. 6'2", 216, a senior, 33 and 5/8 inch arm length. But the one that stood out to me in Crevonte, I don't know if you noticed, 10.5-inch hands. I think by far out of everyone we're going to talk about the biggest hands. And a guy who's battled some injuries as well and transferred. Much like Jaden Daniels, he did transfer. Jaden Daniels at Arizona State, ended up at LSU. Penix at Indiana started, tore his ACL in his freshman year. Then he returned to Indiana in 2019 and then had a shoulder injury. 2020, he was second team All Big Ten, and he tore his ACL again against Maryland, ironically. Then in 2021, he did miss the end of that season after separating an AC joint. 2022, he transfers to Washington, second team All Pac-12, no injuries. And then 2023 Maxwell Award, nation's top player, second team All-American. Started all 15 games, 363 of 555, 65% completion percentage with only 11 interceptions, 36 passing touchdowns, third in the FBS, and 27 of 51, one touchdown, two interceptions in the national championship game. Michael Penix Jr., he will be 24, Crevonte, when his rookie season begins. We know the injuries, we know the history.
Yep.
But the boy can throw that football. He can spin it.
My gosh, yes, I absolutely. It's funny. We started doing these profiles, and I don't even do my model. I don't start low and end high. I usually do the strength and weaknesses, but let's point out the weaknesses first. So you named a couple of them. I think the biggest one is the medicals. He has an extensive list of injury history, with the ACL tears. His durability is absolutely in question. And you know how I feel about hurt guys. They stay hurt. So I'm hearing his medicals have checked out, but it's still a concern in the back of GM's minds. You're right. He's 24. COVID jacked up a lot of folks' eligibility. So folks being in school 5-6 years is very common. Has become very common now. Since the whole COVID thing. But him being 24, scouts and GMs, how long is his tenure going to be? Because we're talking about he's going to be in the first round. We're talking 5 years. He'd be damn near 30. You know what I'm saying? So how long would his tenure be? So I mean, those are the biggest. Those are the biggest ones. And you said left-handed quarterback. Offensive styles have to be a little bit different. Like your right tackle is a little bit more important in this sense. So that's another, I think, minor thing that'll be against them. But my gosh. And was that the so before the game for the championship, that was a Sugar Bowl. My
Yes.
gosh. He was throwing it all over the yard. I think he has the prettiest deep ball out of everybody. And I've said Jaden Daniels is outstanding with deep passes. Clay Williams is damn good with deep passes. Drake May's best attribute is his deep passes. But goddamn, like he almost did whatever he wanted to do, passing the ball down. And it's like, damn, he looks like nice touch, accuracy, everything looked good, and he had command. I think that's another thing that's important. I was talking about intangibles. He has command, like intangible with I think the other person was JJ McCarthy. I was talking about having intangibles and being in control of the game while he's on the field. He has control and command of the offense. Pro style pro style offense. I think he'll mesh well with that. He has some athleticism with him, not like the top of the top guys, but you really don't want him running too much anyway because you'll be holding your breath every time he gets hit, we really want him to get down, and we don't want to take no unnecessary hits. We don't want none of the quarterbacks take any unnecessary hits, but really one who has the injury history, um, such as Michael Penix Jr. Great pocket mobility, subtle slides, step up maneuvers. He has a good feel of the pocket when it's around him, and still being able to deliver the football where it needs to go. Um, Now, one thing, I don't know if this will go against him, but he does have a bona fide number one first round wide receiver in Romo Dunze. My gosh, that brother's good. That brother's good. And at the beginning of the year, and I'll get into this later about the wide receiver rankings, but Romo Dunze is anywhere in the top three. And with him and the rest of the offense, it flowed really, 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 really well. Now, I think the best thing for Michael Penix is that I don't think he's going to go to a team that's going to need him right away. Or at least I'm hoping, for him that's how it is, because I think all guys need to learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I do think Caleb Williams is going to start week 1, and I think Jaden Daniels is going to probably start by week 4, week 5. You know what I'm saying, for the Commanders, if it goes in that order. Michael Penix may not have to start week 1, which is great. He can learn and grow and develop, and when his time comes, I think he will. I think that'll be in the best interest for him and whichever organization chooses him. We talked about the Vikings. We talked about and talk about the Denver Broncos, the New Orleans Saints. The mid first round towards to the back end, right around there, where it's like it's not a total need. Like, yo, we need a guy week 1. New Orleans Saints, Derek Carr is still there, if I'm not mistaken, unless they did something crazy.
Oh, he ain't gonna be there after this year, probably. So that could be an option, Crevonte.
I'm
And
just
I'm
saying.
looking at it. You got 16 with Seattle. How long is Geno Smith gonna be the guy? You can go with him probably for this year. Number 19, the LA Rams, Matthew Stafford.
Ooh,
Just saying.
that my gosh, him with the Rams would be crazy because
And like you said,
it's
doesn't have to play.
it's no rush, and he's under a guru in
McVay gonna make him look good, baby.
McVay and Matthew Stafford. How much longer is he really gonna play? You know what I'm saying? So, um, he can, if he can sit like Matt Stafford can probably play another year, maybe year and a half, and then put him in maybe in 2 full years. Throw Michael Penix out there. I think that'll be good. But the Rams at 19 would be a crazy fit.
How do you see his upside? I know pro comp wise, I mean the layup is Tua because he's left handed, but how do you feel about him pro? I just felt like I'm a Tua guy, I get it, but I feel like Penix is a way better thrower of the football.
I think so.
Maybe the best up there with Caleb and Jaden.
He's up there. He's definitely up there with delivering the football. Um, I like Carson Wentz. If you remember Carson Wentz back in the day, how he was doing before that brutal injury against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Carson Palmer, I would say Wentz. Oof. Carson Palmer was doing wonders with that Bengals team, and they were threatening the AFC, but injuries happen, and it's kind of tough to recover after a sudden injury like that. But Michael Penix knows a thing or two about injuries, so I like Carson Palmer.
Anything else we need to know about Michael Penix? Like you said, he could be a guy who slides to the middle of the first round, maybe even to the back end of the first round. What does Dallas do at 24?
Oh
Just
wow,
saying.
what does Dallas do? What they gonna do with Dak? Um,
Yeah.
they on the hook. Dallas is in a wild spot because they don't have any money, and they got guys. They got legit bona fide guys over there that's going to demand top tier money. I'm hearing CD Lamb may hold out. Um, Before you know it, it'll be time for Michael Parsons to get paid. Diggs, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Dak. So it ain't enough money to go around over there. So they need to put in some contingency plans at quarterback, wide receiver at least, because it'll be crazy. But Michael Penix, he's really really fun to watch, and like I said, he probably throws the prettiest deep pass out of everybody. But I'll just say this: he's in the mix, absolutely in the mix. And if he doesn't play immediately, that can only get better.
And he also had the number one offensive line. I want to mention and shout those guys out. They did win the award for best offensive line in the nation this past year. I think Michigan won it last year. So he had protection. So I think if you can go to a team that can give him time, not allow him to take those hits, like we've even seen with Tua, Mike McDaniel getting the ball out quickly. You put him with a McVay, you put him with a guy under the McVay tree, a Kevin O'Connell, who we like.
Yeah,
Some of those guys, he could be successful. And they got weapons, man. I mean, both, like I said, both teams got weapons on the outside.
absolutely. And young weapons.
Cheap weapons, young cheap
You know what I'm
weapons.
saying? Young and cheap. That's how the NFL like it. You know what I'm saying? So now but you're right. Now that is something he had a top flight number one receiver and the best offensive line in the league. And Michigan's wasn't too shabby either. But
Yep.
having those things in place can only do wonders for your quarterback. Now going to the next level, the team is probably not going to be as good as the team you was on in college. So um, just continue to put good things around. That's what GMs and all these guys need to do. To continue to give your young signal caller everything they could to do their best. Now, granted, offensive lines, not everybody's offensive line is great, but having them sit for a little bit and talk about Michael Penix specifically, having them sit, I think will be at least for a year because he is 24. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to sit too long, mess around, be 30, and only played 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? But the talent is there. The talent is absolutely there. And if he goes with a guy like O'Connell, even a Sean Payton or McVay, yeah, these are some good landing spots for the guys who's not the toppest of top tiers of quarterbacks.
Is he where does he rank on your list? I know you got we've done a few. Where does he rank on your in your rankings?
Um, I think, yikes, man, sheesh. I like him better than JJ McCarthy. So I know I was talking, I said JJ McCarthy at 4 before, but I think I like Penix at 4, McCarthy at 5, May at, oof, man, that's tough. I think the top two is the top two. I think it's Caleb, Jaden Daniels, and man, Drake. I want to put Penix above Drake May for real, for real. I think I feel better with with the team because again he had better competition too. So Penix, May, McCarthy, oof, that sounds crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
maybe
we we, we could get 5 first round QBs, man. We could.
we could
Could
get
be something.
5, and if we could get 5, man, I think. And only I'm saying that because I'm thinking because Drake May and McCarthy are not far apart, and I think Drake May is going to fall.
And yeah, it's always a team that seems like wants to trade up into the first round at the end of the first round that wants that extra year. So we got, the Ravens at 30, San Francisco at 31, Chiefs at 32, even Detroit at 29 could be a candidate, or even Buffalo at 28. I mean, and you got Arizona again at 27. So a lot of teams there in the back half who could trade out, could trade in, get that 5th year of service eligibility for Penix, who can definitely spin the ball. Anything else, Crevonte?
Dang, man, I really put Penix at 3. It's crazy. It's crazy how much it shifted throughout the year because in the beginning of the year I was like Caleb and Drake May. Jaden Daniels come in. Now it's Caleb, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May. He's getting a lot of slander. He's getting a lot of pushback. And then Michael Penix has an amazing college football playoffs, even though he didn't play that great in the championship. But my gosh, the Sugar Bowl was something to see. it's something to be said about when guys play in big games. How do they play? And that's why you got to ding Drake May a little bit. But Michael Penix, he's damn good, damn good. Now I don't want to go to a quarterback needy team because that can destroy him. But I think I like Michael Penix at 3.
Well, we shall see how it plays out, Crevonte. And you already know. Only place giving you that draft coverage how you want it.
When you need it.
We'll be back with more draft profiles here on the Flex.